for a sixth grade student, right? So I was very excited. It turns out that 10 rupees was added by H.S. Varadeshkachar, who later became our Sanskrit teacher um, for National College PUC, and he also became known as Rangapriya Swami. So he's no more there. So I truly believe that was the best 10 rupees I've ever earned in my life. So that is and then on I've tried to understand the meaning. I read about 50 different books, and I noticed that each book had something special in it and something not so good in it. So if I had to come up with a book I would like, I basically had to combine all the 50 books and also some more of my own intuitions. Then around 1990, my brother gifted me Jivana Dharma Yoga by D.V. Gundappa. It was actually something he had done in 1970s, and there were a lot of nice insights in that. So with all those things, finally around 2002 or so, I started word for word translation, exactly like the complete Bhagavad Gita book. And I sent it out to a few people and by email. And Hari, he was only 21 years old at that time, my nephew. And he answered back. Other people probably just deleted it and just said congratulations or something like that. He came up with the idea of he should publish only in English first and all those things. So basically, we came up with 5 different versions of it, and the most elaborate one being the complete Bhagavad Gita. So that's where we have come. So I've been working with Hari since almost 2006. He was only 21. And usually it's customary that we retain the best thing for the last, right? But in this case, Hari already gave a presentation. So the best thing has already happened. So now you will only have the second best thing because there are only 2 authors. So that's what you're going to get from me. And of course, myself as a retired scientist from Procter & Gamble company. And I see my friend Suresh Vajpayee is there. And we were classmates in National High School and with Sanskrit second language. And we also got some discipline for misbehaving in the class from G.R. Srinivasa Iyengar. So it's nice to see Suresh is here. Anyway, so in this case, I'm glad that Hari already gave a presentation. So makes my job easier. I'm going to use some of the things he had prepared for presentation. And I retired from Procter & Gamble. I'm a biotechnologist. 3 years ago. I have 2 children, a daughter. We have 2 grandchildren through her. And she settled in Namibia for now. And our son is still Ganesh and Madhve. He's not married. He's around 30. He doesn't want to marry. Anyway, my 2 children have given me a title. They call me Mantra Maniac and Gita Nut. So what I will do is for each class, I will introduce a different Vedic mantra. Not that mantra has anything to do with Bhagavad Gita, but that way you will hear 60 different mantras. Today you heard one already, right? Om Namas Sadase Saraswataye Puroganam Chakshushe. This is the way they were introducing the audience during those times, honoring the congregation and the Sabhapatis, all those things. So something like that. And my class will go for 45 minutes as Silpa mentioned. And try to answer any questions in the last few minutes. Hari will give some highlights if he has any. And we'll take it from there. So we still have about 30 minutes left. I don't want you to take it easy. So I will spend those 30 minutes to tell a little bit about how we landed in Bhagavad Gita, actually in Mahabharata, where it comes. It comes in the Bhishma Parva, and we should not think that we always see the picture of Sanjaya sitting next to Dhritarashtra and explaining, narrating. Actually, it was not happening like that. Sanjaya narrated this Bhagavad Gita to him after Bhishma had fallen in the battlefield. So after the 10th day, so actually it was narration started at 11th day. Right? But Krishna, of course, had given it on at the outset of the battle. What happened was Sanjaya, most important thing for Dhritarashtra was not Bhagavad Gita. For him, Bhishma, uh, Bhishma being defeated or fallen in the war battlefield was the most important news for him. So you can think Sanjaya was like a personal secretary for president, like that, a personal secretary for Dhritarashtra. And as soon as the Bhishma had fallen, that is very important news for him. Bhagavad Gita is not an important news for Dhritarashtra. There was no need for Sanjaya to tell all this dialogue for him. But Dhritarashtra, when he heard that Bhishma has fallen, he got really shocked because he thought that as long as Bhishma is on the battlefield, nobody is invincible. That army cannot be defeated. That means if Bhishma has fallen, there's a good chance his side will lose. So he gets very anxious and he wants to know everything. Tell me everything that happened. It is just like there is some important people, our relatives, some important people passed away. We want to know everything instead of just telling Tata, Sita, Gota. We like to know what happened, how did he suffer, who took care of him, which hospital he was admitted, what all he went through. He wants to know every detail. So Sanjaya, being his earnest secretary, gives him every detail. He starts out telling that at the beginning, Arjuna was asked to pray for Durga. Krishna asked him to get your energy to fight, to become victorious in the battle, pray to goddess Durga. So Arjuna prays to goddess Durga. Then does the battle start? No. Yudhishthira gets off his chariot and walks up. He walks up to Bhishma. Then people are thinking, oh, looks like he's giving up. Maybe he's not going to fight. But actually, he gets blessings from Bhishma. After seeking blessings from Bhishma, Bhishma, of course, blesses him, be victorious. And then after that, he goes to Drona. And when he goes to Drona, again, the same thing. But Drona is another very important warrior, as long as he is alive. And Drona is also can live for as long as he wants. He can decide, just like Bhishma. So for Drona, he asks, how can we defeat you? How can we kill you? He says that, well, as long as I am fighting, you cannot win. Drona says that. But you can only win when I am not fighting. When I am not fighting is when I hear my son, if something has happened to my son Ashwatthama, then I will give up. Then you can basically go and kill me. That's the only way you're going to win. So he gives that clue, hint to Yudhishthira. Then all this happening and Yudhishthira comes back, but Drona also blesses him. You have Dharma on your side. Wherever Dharma is there, and Krishna is there, so wherever there is Dharma, wherever is Krishna, victory is guaranteed. So that is also a nice thing for him. But in the meantime, Krishna does some kitapati. He goes to Karna. Karna was not able to join the battlefield as long as Bhishma was there. Because as long as Bhishma is the commander-in-chief, Karna has to just sit and watch. He cannot be on the battlefield. So Krishna goes to Karna and says, why don't you fight on Pandava's side for some time until Bhishma is dead? Then you can go back and fight on Kaurava's side. Because obviously he's itching to fight. Think of it like a cricket match going on, and you have no opportunity to bat on your side. So you have to just sit and watch. The opposite side comes and says, why don't you bat for some time for us? You will feel very excited, right? That is, so Krishna was trying to see if Karna can be enticed to do that. But Karna says, no, I am not going to do that. I don't mind sitting here and watching. I am too loyal to Duryodhana. So all these things happen, and then then they starts narrating how Arjuna despair and how Bhagavad Gita was taught. So that is on basically 11th day of the war. So that is kind of little bit of background of when exactly Gita was taught, because many people ask this, was it exactly, because it was taught on Shukla Ekadashi. So So I also, when I was young, I was thinking, why would they start the battle on Ekadashi? That is the day people usually used to fast. You should, why would you start fighting on a empty stomach? So I was thinking, but actually the war did not start on Ekadashi day. It started 10 days before that. Okay? So that is a little bit of a trivia about when the war started. And another 25 minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the essence of Hinduism or basic tenets of Sanatana Dharma before we go to Bhagavad Gita. So this is a common question people ask, what are the basic tenets? And this has been, I have sent this PDF file in my background. You can look at the slides. I will quickly go through that just orally without using any slides. So this is something we have done from almost 24 years. This started around when we are celebrating the 50th Independence Day of India in Cincinnati. The idea was to present one page of every religion in India. Every religion so we have pretty much every religion. So we had to prepare one page for Hinduism also. And the problem came to comprehensively present Hinduism in one page. We had a committee of 6 people. All of us came up with something what we thought was the way to present. None of them were wrong, but none of them were wholesome. They were all different. There were 6 for 6 different things. But they were all right, but none of them complete. So with that, we started working how to make a comprehensive presentation in under 15 to 20 minutes about Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma. So to start with, basically I used the acronym AEIOUY of Hinduism. That way it's easy to remember. So of course our religion is based in the Vedas. Rig Veda is the oldest of the Vedas. And basically, that's why I'm going to have some mantra from the Vedas for every session. And then it went on to Veda itself as the Samhita, the Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad, all of them. Then, of course, it into many other works, coming down to, those are all the Shruti, and the Vedas describe every ritual. This is the only religion under the sun where every samskara is given as an operation manual in the Vedas itself. No other religion has how to conduct a wedding, how to pierce ear, how to Annaprasana, or wedding, or housewarming, Antyeshti, death ceremony, post-death ceremony, everything from cradle to grave and beyond. Everything is there in the Vedas. So if you add all those things, that comes to thousands of pages. Samskara Mahodaji is a very fat book. So, but then of course it comes to many different kinds of philosophies. But if you want to present something to any audience, so what will be the best way to present is start to making it also objective. So I made this, as I told you, AEIOUY of Hinduism. Every one of you here, I know this. I'm sure you know this. A is for Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yanto Vishwataha. May noble inspirations come to us from everywhere. Then E is Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahuda Vadanti. God is one. God is celebrated with different names by wise. Vipraha, wise people, celebrate God in different names. Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahuda Vadanti. Only the otherwise will fight over what is the right name for the God. I, the next letter is Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam Etkincha Jagatyan Jagata Tena Tyaktena Bhunjita Magrita Kasya Siddhanam. This is the first mantra of Isha Upanishad. Lord permeates everything in this world, living as well as non-living. Everything is permeated by God. Enjoy your share. That is the only immutable thing. Everything else is changing. So everything is on the move. That is why the word Jagat itself comes from things on the move. And like in English, we have jogging. That's how the Jagat is always on the move. So enjoy your share without greed and without ownership. Just like we look at sunrise or sunset or the Himalayas or the Niagara Falls, we just enjoy it. We don't have to own it. So enjoy your share with detachment. That is AEI. Then O is Om Iti Brahma, Om Iti Ragam Sarvam. Om encompasses everything. It represents, it is basically, when we say Om, like we start everything with Om. Om comes many times in Gita, the importance of Om. Of course, in Upanishad, you have Om Iti Brahma, Om Iti Ragam Sarvam. Just the way we say Om, coming from the deep, from the belly button to end of the mouth, including the silence. Actually, it's a oh. You will have used every part of the vocal cord. It represents our beginning, growth, letting go, and silence. That silence represents immortality. So if you look at the four seasons, like a spring is like A, summer is like U, spring everything comes to life, U everything becomes bountiful, is like this autumn season when things let go. You can see the trees, especially if you are living in some parts of the world, how the trees let go very gracefully. And then, of course, the winter, no leaf is left on that. Again, spring, it comes back. So that's what Om is like a cycle, and it represents everything. And today, if you just study one gene versus if you study the whole, all the genes, we call it genome, proteome. So that Om comes all encompassing. So that is Om, A-E-I-O, U. U is the unity of, U is the verse from the Gita. Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atma eva hi atmano bandhuh atma eva hi ripuratmanaha. So that is one of the message of U, A-E-I-O-U. The next letter is Y. Y, of course, is Yopam Ayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati. It's a very important mantra pushpa in the Vedas. Yopam Pushpam Veda Pushpavan Prajavan Pashuman Bhavati. Yopam Ayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati. One who knows, one who believes that someone is looking over us, then we become protected. It's Ayatanavan Bhavati. So one is so it's a religion of belief of some higher authority. Higher authority is watching over us, and it is helping us. So that kind of faith, A-E-I-O-U, Y. So that completes the vowels of English language. Then O is our obligations. What are our obligations? According to Hinduism, we have three obligations. Everyone who is born has three debts. One is called the Devaruna, other is called the Pitraruna, other is called the Rishiruna. So Devaruna is like the MasterCard debt. So God created everything and it looks after everyone without any discrimination, right? Sun shines on everyone, rain falls on everyone. So it is samavarti. So the idea how we pay back our debt to Creator is doing something for goodness sake. Even holding door for somebody when they're behind you, it's a kind of good act. Do something good for goodness sake. Then how do you pay for the Rishiruna? Everything we know is because somebody had done it before, right? Like how to make uppittu or coffee or tea, somebody had done it before. Anything there is somebody had done it. So learn something. The only way we pay respect to learned people, Rishi, is by learning something. Then, of course, the next one, that is Rishi Runa, is called the discovery card. So discover something, learn something for yourself. So be nice, be good for goodness sake, learn something. And what is Mata Pitra Runa? Of course, respecting them, obeying them is important. Otherwise, they will spank you or they may not write you in their will. So that is not the important thing. The way you pay back is there like the Visa card. They brought you to this world. So you should leave a child behind. So we should leave at least two children behind, one for husband and one for wife. That's how we pay for the Pitraruna. If you cannot have your own child, try to have two children. You can adopt two children or leave two children behind. So that is obligation. So Devaruna, Pitraruna, and Rishiruna. So learn something, do something good for goodness sake, and leave children behind. Then A-I-O, then comes to F, right? After O is F. F is the flavors. The flavors is where we get attitudes, that is sattva, raja, tamoguna. It comes lot, that is the attitude. We all have that to different extents. And that can also stretch over to divine and demonic. So those are all attitudes. Sattva, raja, tamas, asuri, and daivi guna. So this we discuss a lot in Gita, it will come. Then the other part of the flavors is our varna, which is the aptitude. We have the varnas, brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra. These are actually aptitudes. So the aptitudes, attitude, and the other flavor is ashrama dharma. As a bachelor, as a grihastha, then vanaprastha and sannyasa. So these are the 4 stages of life. So we covered A, E, I, O, U, O, F. Then for the Hinduism part, H is for harmony of all religions. Hinduism does not disrespect any religion, but it doesn't mean that all religions are same. It is only intolerant against intolerance. So H is for the harmony of all religions. I, the next letter, is for incarnation or avatar. This is a unique concept of Hinduism, that God descends as and when needed to set things right. Right? If depending on the condition, that's how the God will appear. It will not be in the same way. What does the need? If a room is extremely dirty, God may come as a vacuum cleaner. So it depends on what is needed. And there is no limitation to how many times this can happen. Basically, anyone who rises up to an occasion, any kind of challenge, and brings solution to that, that person is an avatar. So we can think of there are thousands and thousands of avatars like that. So that is incarnation, H-I. And N is for non-violence, ahimsa. Ahimsa is not just this ahimsa in terms of kaya, manasa, vacha, both in actions, both in thoughts, as well as in our speech. So so Hinduism represents ahimsa, gives high value. Of course, other religions in India also, like Jainism also. So the idea is, does it mean that we should not eat any meat, any animal like that? No, the idea is to cause the least harm. It never said that you have to be a vegetarian to be a Hindu. That restriction is only for the Jainism. They cannot use an animal. For Hindus, cause the least harm. You should not cause any harm. But anything you eat with an attitude of gratitude. That is the Hindu Shuddhi. Okay? So even if you eat a dry leaf which has fallen on its own accord, you should not show ownership. You should eat it with gratitude. Because for that leaf to fall, the earth has to be there. You didn't create the earth, you didn't plant the tree, all those things. So attitude of gratitude is very important. That is H-I-N. Then the D is for dharma. Dharma is comes a lot in Bhagavad Gita, we talk about it. But dharma is doing what is right, what is beneficial to most. A lot of time dharma sankata comes, right? If you have 2 choices, you always have to choose the one which is greater dharma. Right? If they widen the road in front of my home, more dust will come to my home. So it is bad for me, but that will help a lot more people. So that is a higher dharma, is to widen the road. Okay? Like that. So dharma rakshati rakshitaha. If you take care of dharma, dharma will take care of you. H-I-N-D. Then U is the unity of existence. Vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Every life form, everything is connected. Right? This is long before Darwin's theory of evolution, telling all forms are interrelated. So for us, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that doesn't mean just the human beings. It includes everything, all life forms, even including the COVID virus. So it's all part of life. So Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that unity of existence. So H-I-N-D-U. The next I is the inherent value. That is where when we look at a worship an idol, it's not the metal or the granite or whatever it is made in porcelain. That's not what we represent worshipping. What you are worshipping is what it stands for, what it represents. Like the flag of a nation is not a piece of cloth. It represents something. A dollar bill or a rupees bill, it has some value. It is not a paper. So inherent value, and there is no requirement in Hinduism that you have to worship a form. It is your choice. You can form Nirguna or Saguna Brahma. Even in the choice of deity, multiple choices are there. Ishta Devata, depending on what your family were brought up in, what your parents said, or what your guru said, or what region you were in. Or like Ganesha became very important for Maharashtrians because of Tilak. He introduced Ganesha worship like that. And Durga very important for Bengalis like that. Different things like that. So Ishta Devata concept is there. That's where depending on the deity worship, you get into different sects, Shaivis, Vaishnavas, Marthas, as well as people who are Vedantins who don't look at any deity. They only do the Nirguna Brahman. So that is I, H-I-N-D-U-I. Yes, S is the supreme soul. There is only one. That is worshipped in many, many, many different ways. There is only one God, there is not many gods. And that is the supreme Brahman we talk about. So actually, Krishna is represented also as a Brahman, not just a son of Devaki and Nandako and Vasudeva. He is also the Brahman in Gita. He uses, when he says I, sometimes it means Brahman. That's the supreme soul. So H-I-N-D-U-S. And the last letter is Yam. Yam is the mantra and moksha, but there are four purushartha, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So moksha is the ultimate goal. That is the union or end to cycles of life and birth. And there are multiple paths and countless opportunities in Hinduism. In many religions, like Abrahamic religion, there is only one life and one opportunity. If you mess it up, you will be in hell. But in Hinduism, it is countless number of opportunities. You will hear that in Bhagavad Gita again, how the number is like goes to millions of opportunities. It's up to us when we are ready. It is almost like going to a buffet dinner or buffet lunch. You keep going back to the buffet table until you are full, until you are satisfied. But once you are satisfied, you will not go back. So that is, we have to feel that as liberation, but there are many ways for liberation, like path of knowledge, path of selfless work, karma yoga, gnana yoga, or bhakti yoga, or even prapatti yoga, sharanagati, which is just total surrender. So all these are paths for liberation. It is up to us. The choice is up to us. So that is the final one. And the mantra of Hinduism, of course, is Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Makashchit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. So it's a universal prayer. So this kind of gives you an idea of a summary gist of AEIOUY of Hinduism, which covers the whole in a wholesome manner. So this I just want to share with you. And several aspects of this comes in the Bhagavad Gita. The only one aspect which doesn't come in the Bhagavad Gita, which Hari also mentioned, although the Bhagavad Gita is called the Sarvopanishado Gavo, essence of the Upanishads, but there is one aspect of the Upanishad which you don't see in the Bhagavad Gita, but we will see in the Bhagavad Gita it is more than the Upanishads, because you also have Bhakti Yoga and Sharanagati Yoga, and whereas Upanishads are highlighting a Gnana Yoga only, and little bit of Karma Yoga. So Gita is more than that when it comes to paths for liberation, but it is also missing one aspect, which is the Pancha Koshas. Hari briefly mentioned that this is not found in the Bhagavad Gita. The Annamaya Kosha, the Manomaya Kosha, the Pranamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. This is not there in Bhagavad Gita. As it beautifully comes out in Taittiriya Upanishad, it comes many in other Upanishads. It's still 5 minutes. I don't want to let you go. So I will tell this conversation between young boy Bhrigu. This young lad asked his father Varuna, Dad, teach me what is supreme. Arihi Bhagavo Brahmeti. He asked, what is the supreme? So his father says, Annam Pranam Chakshush Shrotram Manovachamiti Yatova Imani Bhutani Jayante Yena Jatani Jivanti Yat Prayachavimamsati Tat Vijignasasva. Think of where we came from, wherever eyes, wherever ear, everything, food, everything. Think about it. That is supreme, he says. So he told him to think about it. So Bhrigu thinks. So he says, Tapasa Brahma Vijignasasva. Tapasa means tapa is heat. You think so deeply that your body temperature goes to 105, then you get an idea. So that is tapas. So Bhrigu is a young boy young boy does tapas, so after doing tapas, he thinks Annam Brahmeti Vyajanat, Annadjeva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante, Annena Jatani Jivanti, Annam Prayante Visamvisantiti. He thinks that, oh, we are come out of food, without food we won't be here, and we live off food, and when we die, we become food. So that is the supreme. So Annam is supreme. So he reports this to his dad. His dad doesn't say it is right or wrong. He asks him to tapasa brahma vijignasasva tapo brahmeti. Think more, son, he said. He thinks, well, we should be breathing. Without breath, if you are not breathing, we won't be living, we won't be eating. So prano brahmeti vyajanat pranadyeva kalvimani bhutani jayante pranena jatani jivanti pranancha visamvishanti. He thinks, so we live breath by breath until the last breath. So that is, then still he tells his father, is that right, Dad? He says, tapasa brahma vijignasasva. Think, son, think more. So he thinks more and he thinks, wow, even to eat, our mind should be there. If our mind is not there, if you don't mind is disturbed, we cannot eat. So he thinks mind is important. So mano brahmeti vyajanat manaso sheva kalvimani bhutani jayante manasa jatani jivanti manaprayancha visamvishanti. So of the mind, because of somebody's will, we were born. With our mind, we cannot live, right? If you have willpower, you cannot live. And then when we are gone, we are just in the minds of some people. So that is done. He goes and tells his dad, is that supreme? His dad again, same thing. Tapasa brahma vijignasasva tapo brahmeti, he says. He goes on things. Then he says, well, let me think. And he says, Vignanam brahmeti vyajanat. We should have knowledge. We should have know how to live. That is supreme. So we are born. Vignanam is important because of knowledge we are born. Out of knowledge we live. When we are gone, only our knowledge we created remains. We are gone. So then he goes and tells his father. His father still says it is not right or wrong. He asks him to think more. This time, Dhrugu thinks and he says, Anando brahmeti vyajanat ananda jeva kalvimani bhutani jayante anandena jatani jivanti anandam prayancha visamvishanti. But when he realized joy as bliss is supreme, he never went back to his father because he already was convinced that is the answer. So he was not an askful. He was asking only when he had doubt. So that became the important knowledge, Vidya in Taittiriya Upanishad. It says that Saisa Bhargavi Varudi Vidya Parame Vyoman Pratishtita Ya Evam Veda Pratitishthati Annavan Annado Bhavati Mahan Bhavati Pradaya Pashabhi Brahma Varchasena Mahan Kirtya. So if you realize that, then everything comes. If you so basically, the conclusion is the food we eat, the air we breathe, the mind we think with, and anything we know, we must know it is just for joy, just for ananda and nothing else. If you realize that, then anything we do will only lead to joy. So these are the 5 layers. Annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha. So these are the five koshas. This doesn't come in the Bhagavad Gita, but I thought it is very, very important to know that. And in other words, when you're always connected to the Supreme, it's always joy, right? This is beautifully brought out in Shankaracharya's Pajagovindam. Yoga ratova, bhoga ratova, sanga ratova, sanga vihinaha, yasya brahmani ramate chittam, nandati eva. Whether you are in company, whether you are in bhoga, whether in yoga, whether you are in sangha or alone, when you rejoice in the Supreme, you are always nandati eva. You are happy, and happy. It's a joy, joyous. So that is, with that, I will conclude today's talk. So I will see you all on Monday morning for people from India, and for US, it will be Sunday night. And wish you all a very happy weekend, happy Varamahalakshmi Vrata. If the Varamahalakshmi Vrata is still as it used to be, like our neighbor Subbamma, it's always good to be neighbor of Martha. They has the most number of festivals. They make lots of goodies. And that Varamahalakshmi Vrata, Subbamma used to make so many goodies that used to last till Janmashtami. So we will do. Then for us, for the Iyengars to make Janmashtami 108 things. So it was, so you all enjoy your Varamahalakshmi Vrata and still complete Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Vakashit Tukka Vak Bhavet. I think finish right on time. Good night. See you all.
Koti sir, can I take another minute and share the group link with everybody?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Please, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So we are 93 of us here in class today, but only about 44 of us have joined in the into the WhatsApp group. So please make sure that you join the group. I have pasted the link again in the Zoom chat. I will also share my screen for the QR code. Please join, and if anybody has any questions, we can take a couple of minutes and try to answer the questions.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're having trouble joining the group or anything like that, please let us know. And the reason we are all here today, the person who has brought us all here together today is our Guruguru, Shivaswami Guruguru. May I request him to say a few words of encouragement and set us off on this journey. Gurugale, ಒಂದೆರಡು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು.
Thank you, Shilpa. I was just thinking when Koti Krishnaji was talking that he is a master's degree holder in Bhagavad Gita. I only teach the primary students. What is the qualification for me to teach Bhagavad Gita is just this. I have been reading Bhagavad Gita every day once, trying to understand every shloka as Krishna tells me and puts it to me in simplest language possible. So I usually make a fun. If we postgraduate teachers to teach LKG students, they will never sit in the class. So I only teach basic. But I have found a great scholar in Koti Sri Krishnaji and Hari Ravi Kumar and others. They will help a lot to this society. My only request to them is to make Bhagavad Gita simple so that more people can join and try to understand it in the simplest form possible. Not going to any complication, Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta, Dvaita, and so on and so forth. They will all happen after our death. Why Bhagavad Gita importance for us when we are living is the question that I think the best thing that we can do. Anyway, Hari Ravi Kumar had conducted a class and it was well appreciated. Now, Koti Sri is also conducting another. I wish English-speaking world can make use of this opportunity to learn what is Hinduism. He's a great scholar. I wish the learners who have joined today to post the beginning of the class in as many groups as possible you have, so that it can reach many people. This Zoom link holds 500 capacity, which has been done by my son for the welfare of Bhagavad Gita. So even up to 500 people can join. So if you are listening, my request to all who have joined today to bring as many as you can who wants to be spiritual or who want to know what is Hinduism. Is there a book that can completely give us the Hindu ideas and other questions? So I wish the class a grand success. And I expect from Koti Sri Krishna ji, the class to continue batch after batch, batch after batch, batch after batch, until he is able to talk. So I wish him all good luck, and thank you, Shilpa.
Thank you, Gurugula, for your blessing. Very right. One of our things in translation was the only basis was only bias we used was not to be biased. So no Dvaita, no Jishta Dvaita, Advaita, no those things. Because Ramakrishna mission, of course, is very Advaita, but a Ramakrishna mission Swami Sarvapriyananda was asked a question: is Gita Advaita, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Suddha Advaita, Advaita, Advaita? His answer was no. It is the source of all those things. It is how you. By itself, it is not any of them. Those words are not used. Gita. It's the source you can appreciate. So actually, Hari and myself, we are not really scholars. We call ourselves Jadus. Just to take away the clutter, make it simple. So we are Jadus to bring out the Jadu of Gita to cleanse our Koti Janma Jadyams with Hari's words. So you can see our signature is there, Koti and Hari. So we are Jadus, Jadmalis, to bring out the Jadu, the magic of Gita, to cleanse our Koti Janma Jadyams. Because as he said, we have too many opportunities to rebirth with Hari's words. So our signature is also there in that. So thank you.
Sir, you sit through my class. You are such a scholar sitting through my class is really a surprise for me.
No. It is a blessing for me. It's a blessing. Enjoy. Gita is like Grand Canyon. You cannot just see with one eye, with one mind. You can see it every time you see. If you hear to some person, you always get new insight. Actually, the insight I got from your talk was yogi means in Gita, it's always karma yoga. That the yogi is the who does nishkama karmi. Krishna praises him as superior to everything. So better than yajna, dana, tapassu, yoga. Being a yogi, tasmat yogi bhavarjuna.
So nice, sir.
Thank you, Gurugule. Thank you, Koti sir. One more quick reminder, and also there have been a few questions, so trying to answer those questions. Yes, you all have joined the info session English group. That group is just an information group about any new batches that might start. Hariji's batch was informed there, and before Hariji, we had Dr. Raju, who also taught in English. He taught all 700 shlokas. It's our pleasure that he's also here with us today. He's a medical doctor. I'm not sure if he is in the hospital or if he is able to unmute himself. But he had taught the class also. So that is an information batch where all the class that starts, information will only be shared there. That is not going to be the class batch. That is not going to be the class WhatsApp group. So the group that I have just shared in the Zoom chat and the QR link that I just showed on the screen, that is the batch you want to be in. That is where all information about this specific class, the class that will be taught by Koti sir, will be shared. So please make sure that all of you join that group. I see quite a few more have joined now. We are about at 60 members. I think some of you might have missed that link. If any of you are not able to join that group for any reason, please send a message to any of the admins, either Murli or Hari or me or Koti sir or Guru. If you are one of Guru Galu's students, then you can send a message to any of the admins in the 25 batches that you might have been in. So that is the group you want to be in. Please join that group. I think at this point, I thank Guru Galu and Koti sir and also Dr. Raju sir. I see that Dr. Raju is available. Dr. Raju, do you want to just wish us a couple of words, please, before we end the session?
Oh, thank you, sir. It is our bhagyam. Thank you so much. Koti Janma Bhagyam to attend this class. Thank you so much.
Namaskara, Raju sir. Namaskara. seeing you have.
Namaskar, Gurugule. And thank you, Shilpaji, and then thank you everyone that attended. We are just now are seated in the chariot, and Sri Krishna takes us. This is my favorite. So just put the seat belts on and then enjoy the ride. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good luck. Beautiful word, sir.
Thank you all for the people who are attending. Without you, it won't be there. The most important is the audience. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. We have run a few minutes over today, but our classes will be exactly 1 hour. So we hope to see you all Sunday, India, US time, 6:30 p.m. PST, 9:30 p.m. EST. That will be Monday, India morning, 7 a.m. The group is now only allows admins to send messages. If any of you need to reach out to any of us, if you have any questions, please send a message directly to one of the admins and we will be able to answer your question. Thank you very much. Shubharatri, Shubhadina for all the folks joining from India. Dhanyavada Koti sir. Dhanyavada Gurugule. Dhanyavada Raju sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you.